Hey there, Internet. So, I'm doing this new thing today where I'm going to review a movie for you. Because I've decided, since I like to talk about movies so much, I might as well review some. And yeah, first of all, this weekend's offerings for movies were suckish, to say the least. Freaking disaster movie. I'm not gonna say anything about. I'm not. It came out this weekend. That's all I'm gonna say. Babylon ID came out, which it already got panned by its own director, so already you can tell that that's probably not a great movie. And Traitor came out, which I really heard nothing about, but I've heard it was lackluster too. And then there was Hamlet 2, which you could probably guess by the title of this video is what I'm going to review. I've been wanting to see it all weekend. I was randomly hanging out with a couple of friends last night. They were like, "Hey, let's go. I want to do something. Let's go see a movie." I'm like, I know for a fact Hamlet 2 is showing at 9:45. They're like, let's fucking go. And then we called more people. Basically, the whole theater was full of, and by full of, I mean there were like 20 maybe of us theater kids in the theater, which was awesome. Yeah, this is the review part. Movie was good. It was funny, like I expected it to be. It wasn't as good as I expected it to be. It was very disconnected, almost like a lot of skits trying to be a full movie but missing. There's just a lot of stuff going on that, I mean, it's like an hour and a half movie. They could have expanded on some plot points, but they didn't, which and if you've read about the movie at all, it's about this drama teacher who used to be a commercial actor, but has since gotten beaten down so many times, so he is now a not even third-rate drama teacher at a school in Tucson. Gets a class full of people that don't want to be there, and the drama department is in trouble of being, wiped off the schedule, and so he decides to put on a big musical to save the department. And this is where it gets funny. The plot I just said sounds like a typical inspirational teacher movie, which is what this movie is attempting to parody. You can see that. Like, in the first 10 minutes of the movie, Steve Coogan writes on the whiteboard, inspirational teacher. They're not hiding the fact that they're kind of parodying the inspirational teacher movies, and sometimes some of the best jokes come from where the cliched inspirational teacher movies would go. They go there, but then something happens, and those are some of the funniest parts of the movie. It's really funny that they'll take the inspirational teacher movies and kind of have the scene where the whole class finally comes together, and then he gets his skate stuck in a railroad track. There's a lot of great moments in the movie, but no real great plot lines. One of the best plot lines is the plot line about Elizabeth Shue giving up on the dream of acting, and because she wasn't a star, and she was so obscure, she gave up on the dream of acting, and nobody knows who Elizabeth Shue is. So that's kind of one of the funny plot lines. There are plenty of other plot lines could have been developed and elaborated on more that weren't. The main character is having troubles with his wife that just seemed to come out of nowhere. There's a student of his that is coming to terms with his homosexuality, but really it's mentioned 3 times when it's something that could have been elaborated on. There's just so much that could have been expanded and more character depth. I think that's what the main thing is that's missing, and the thing is character depth. The only character that really has any depth is Steve Coogan's character, who's the main character, Dana, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name because that's one of the jokes in the movie, which is actually funny the first few times, but then they use it 10 more and it kind of just gets beaten to death. I honestly, the most redeeming part was them putting on the show Hamlet 2. That was a hilarious sequence. Just the idea behind I found that personally hilarious. The funniest part of the movie, all of us in the theater burst out laughing and applauding at it. It was the greatest moment of my life, I think. Which is probably an overstatement, but whatever. If you're looking for, I know that this next weekend there's not a whole lot coming out. Bangkok Dangerous and Everybody Wants to Be Italian are the only two I really see that are like wide release. I don't even think Everybody Wants to Be Italian is wide release. So if you're really looking for something to see, and you've already done the Dark Knight Pineapple Express Tropic Thunder circuit like 3 times, see Hamlet 2. I mean, it's worth it. It's a smaller movie, so I like that, supporting the smaller movies. And it's funny. It has its moments. I like it. I like it. I don't love it. I like it. It's better than Disaster Movie. And that's all I'm going to say.